Welcome to Low Vision Moments, the podcast all about those sometimes frustrating, potentially embarrassing, but often pretty comical things that happen when you are just going about your day with blindness, visual impairment, or albinism. I'm Jenny, your host, and this is episode number 26. It's part 2 of our special Low Vision Moments of Christmas episodes. So cozy up, pour yourself a beverage. I haven't said that one in a while, but I'm bringing it back because in choosing which kind of beverage, you may want to consider that there may be singing from 2 very amateur people on this episode. So you have been warned. So today we're going to unwrap the final 6 low vision moments of Christmas. So if you haven't listened to part 1, just make sure you go ahead and do that. Highly recommend that. If not, whatever, it's your life. Joining me today for the fun is a very long time acquaintance, someone who I'm delighted to kind of catch up with. We've been trying to go for brunch and this and that for like a year now. So very nice to have this person on. They're a stay-at-home mom. They're an avid volunteer in the community in various things, and they've got an advocacy mission as well. Tara Niekamp, welcome.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm festive. I am ready to get down and unwrap these final 6 low vision moments of Christmas, and I know you've got some new ones. But before we get into it, what else do you want the listeners and the viewers to know about you?
So as you mentioned, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have one son who's 9 years old. I have Stargardt's and have since I was about 10 years old. So I've been living with low vision for over 25 years now. And I live in the wonderful city of Lake, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And that's married. My husband also has low vision, so I often joke that we're a double-blind household.
And I think that might come into play today, if I'm not mistaken. But I think we need to take a second to describe what we've got going on because we are both quite festive. Would you like to go first? Tell me what's going on in your background.
Yeah, so I've dragged my Christmas tree into the room with me. So we got that all decorated up last week, and I love decorating the Christmas tree. It's one of my one of the highlights. Then on the other side of me is a wall hanging, and it's actually my advent calendar. It's a reusable advent calendar that I had made a couple years ago. And the part that I really love about this, other than the chocolates inside of it, of course, is the center part is a stocking. And it's actually my old childhood stocking that my grandma made, matching ones for me and my brother. And it's a rather large stocking. And it's got this sort of very old Georgian style house that's kind of up the leg of what would be the sock. And there's like little wreaths and candles and people decorating trees in the windows. And then sort of along the foot is a snowy lawn with Santa and his reindeer going right along the sort of foot to the toe. And so that was stitched into the middle. And it's just a way that I can keep that really sort of precious keepsake and pass it down. So yeah, and each year my husband and my son go out to the Lindt store and they pick all my favorite chocolates and they fill it up. So every day I know I'm getting something that I love.
Oh, that is so lovely. I love it. And you have a fabulous red sweater on, I have to add. Red is one of my favorite colors and certainly reminds me of this time of year. For me, when I think of the holidays, last time I dressed completely differently. I had a Santa hat and whatnot on, but today I ran with the idea of sparkly. So I've got like a sparkly necklace that my grandmother gave to me. She's passed on now. So I love wearing her sort of costumey jewelry. So I've got a really nice sparkly choker thing going on and a super sparkly bracelet that you can't really see unless I hold it up. So I'm doing that right now. I've still got my my blue LED lights behind me and my posh Santa and all the same stuff I had on the first episode. So you can go give that one a listen if you want to get the lay of the land in terms of my decor. All right, so let's get into number 7. on the 7th day of Christmas, my low vision gave to me, my, city gave to me an unsuccessful gift delivery. So a few years ago, my really good friend Kelly, she and her partner moved to a new neighborhood. And in true Jennie fashion, I did not deliver gifts well ahead of time. It was probably pretty much like in the nick of time that I finally got my act together and set out to deliver these gifts to Kelly. And so planned out my route, of course, on the bus, saving money that time of year, we didn't have Uber, actually, come to think of it. So not taking a taxi or anything, fully confident. I had planned my route on the bus, and I got to a part in the route where I had to get out of the bus and walk quite a few blocks to get to her house. When I say quite a few blocks, it was maybe like, 4 or 5 blocks. But it didn't make sense to transfer to another bus, basically. Walking was what made sense in the route. So I should say we had a big dump of snow this time, this winter. And that's not really common in the Halifax area that we get a ton of snow and it hangs around, but there was quite a lot of snow. But I'm from New Brunswick. I'm from Moncton. We're used to having a ton of snow around for months and months at a time. So I was fully confident. I had planned my route. I knew where to go, where to turn. But as soon as I got off of the bus in this neighborhood that I did not know well, I still had my plan of action in my mind. But I stepped off the bus and I walked maybe half a block and I got to an intersection and I just thought to myself, I need to abort mission. I'm going to risk my life if I continue, because I don't know about you, Tara, but in my experience, especially in the Halifax area, snow doesn't get cleared super quickly or super effectively all of the time. So what really made me say, ooh, abort mission, sorry, Kelly, it's probably going to be after the holidays that you get these gifts now, was I came to an intersection and the snow had not been cleared and you had to step over the snowbank just to get into the street. And half of the sidewalks hadn't been plowed. So I was just not feeling safe. And that's really unusual for me to plan a route, especially when I have an end game of giving someone gifts. I love the gift giving, but it was very much abort mission. Sorry, everyone, no gifts. So I don't know how comical that is, but it was an unusual thing for me. I was just like, nope, not happening today. I know that you said decorating is very much your thing, and I do a little bit of decorating around the holidays, but what's it like decorating did you call it a double blind household where both you and your husband? Okay. So there have got to be some mishaps when it comes to all the decorating.
Yeah, so I guess here I'll what are we on, 8? So on the 8th day of Christmas, my low vision gave to me an ornament hiding in the Christmas tree. So I love decorating the tree. I love all the memories, because each ornament is its own story and its own memory. And I love being able to share that with Seamus and share that each year it grows, because he has ornaments that get added on. But this was more, I guess, an undecorating moment. So we're a little bit old school. I'll keep the tree up till January 6th, Old Christmas, or which is actually the 12th day of Christmas. So the 12 days of Christmas is actually from Christmas Day to January 6th. So I keep the tree up till then. And so by that point, Kyle's back at work and Seamus is back at school. So usually I'll be undecorating the tree during the day someday and wrapping all the ornaments up and putting them away. And I'm always very careful. I try to sort of think about, okay, which ones went on and make sure I have them all. And every year I say, okay, next year I'm going to do a spreadsheet so I know I have them all off. Ooh. And I had them all off, had everything down. And this was the year we had a real tree. So I always get Kyle to check because I know that I can't. My vision's really at the point where I can see the lights on the tree, and that's kind of it. And well, in the tree itself, I guess. And he checked it. Yeah, looks all good. So we hauled that puppy outside, all the needles dropping everywhere. And it was outside probably for a couple days. And I was walking my son to school, and he goes, "There's an ornament on that tree."
Wait,
what?
On the curb? Well, it was on the curb. There was still an ornament.
Outside on the curb. And he goes, "There's an ornament on the tree." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, like, right in there, there's an ornament. And so thankfully it was just, I mean, we caught it. It was just a little like dollar store ornament. But moral of the story, always have the person with the most vision in the household check your Christmas tree, even if that person is under the age of 10. So two blind people checking over the Christmas tree does not guarantee that you're going to catch all those ornaments. So really glad for my son's vision in that case.
I can so if it was me, I like undecorating. That's if that's not a real word, it needs to be. We say taking down Christmas, which just sounds negative. I can, and sometimes if I can't think of a time where I had to like undecorate the tree on my own, but I would probably like do like I would probably like frisk it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you go to the airport and you get frisked, like, or whatever,
you get, like,
you're dealing with the law
on your hands, and your hands.
Oh yeah.
Sticky.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think you had a real tree.
Yeah, we go out west. My husband's from out west, so we go out west kind of every other year. So we use a real tree when we're here, and then an artificial tree when we're, my parents gave us an artificial tree, their old one, a couple of years ago. So we use that when we go out west, just because otherwise the tree's sitting here without any water or anything, and then it's a real mess.
Yeah. Oh, I love the smell of a real Christmas tree, but
I do. But then there's the mess of the needles. I have a love, not hate, but whatever is, a love dislike of the tree, because there's the smell.
You don't find the needles like months later, and you're like, Christmas.
No,
or you
no.
No.
I'm usually like vacuuming like every day around the tree to like get it up, but even then you got to be like, really, you got to have some like serious skill, because if you go in it like too rough, then your vacuum just knocks more needles down. So.
Right. Or you're sucking up ornaments, or you're sucking up like the tree skirt, or worse, gifts.
Yes. So,
oh my God.
But usually we don't have any carpet, so I think that's the saving grace. We have all hardwood, so even when the tree goes out, we can vacuum. And then my son is also usually pretty good at like catching those needles. It really helps to have someone who can see in the house.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of things that we find under the tree, other than needles, on the, oh goodness, I'm having a moment. Thank you, Tara. On the 9th day of Christmas, should I try to sing this one? Oh gosh, you've been warned, listeners and viewers.
They've had enough time to have a drink.
I haven't, though. On the 9th day of Christmas, my family gave to me 9 pairs of tighty whities. I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. I hope tighty whities isn't like something offensive now, because that's what we call men's briefs. Cotton men's underwear. That's what we call them, tighty whities. And okay, so I know for sure that more than a couple of times I have opened gifts that were for other people because I misread the label, and I like gung-ho got in there, ripped her open, and realized, ooh, this was for so-and-so. So I couldn't think. I wanted to find like the best one. I was searching my memory, and I was talking with my mom, and I asked her, Mom, I know I've done this. What's the most memorable one that you can think of? And she says, oh, well, when you were pretty young, I think I must have been 5 or 6 or something. I opened a gift that I thought was for me. And my dad's name is Terry, and Terry, Jenny, similar number of letters, possibly similar shaped words. I read the label as Jenny and not Terry, and I ripped open this package, and didn't I find a pack of men's underwear, like tighty whitey cotton white underwear. And I must have suppressed this memory because I do not remember this happening. I wouldn't put it past me because I know I've done it, but I seriously must have repressed it because my mom says when I opened the gift, I was so upset because I thought the family was playing a mean joke on me that they bought me men's underwear for Christmas. And it certainly happened since. I remember opening a thing of chocolates, and I was like, oh, these chocolates are okay, but like they're not my favorite. Why do my parents know me at all? And it was for my sister. So,
there's a good chance after this episode drops, you're going to get tidy whities for Christmas this year.
You know what? That's
somebody.
fine. That's fine. I'll laugh and then I'll donate them elsewhere. Again, it's great to have someone with good eyes or like use the tools available to me to make sure that I'm not opening the wrong gift, right?
Present hander outer. Seamus has to hand out the presents because I've actually got to the point where I can't even read the labels. So my vision is so bad that there's no even like trying to make them out. It's just
right.
It's not an option. So.
And he's happy to do it, right?
Yes, he loves handing out the presents, and we love just sitting back on the couch and drinking our hot Christmas morning beverages and not having to do anything.
We do mimosas, but we don't have children running around. So, men's tidy whities, possibly the worst gift a 5-year-old could get. Maybe, but I'm sure there are other weird gift-giving moments. I mean, I can't be the only one, right?
No, so we're on 10 now, right? So let's do this.
Yeah, someone's keeping track.
10th day of Christmas, I gave to my grandpa the wrong DVD. So, as I said, I'm at the point where trying to read Christmas tags is just, it's just not. It doesn't happen. But what I do have enough sight is to sort of, and I don't know if you do this, I wrap the presents, and I know based on what wrapping paper and what type of box or shape of box, I know what present that is and who it's for. So I kind of
totally
I have it all cataloged in my head. This paper, this shape equals this person. And so this would have been several years ago before I was married. We were at my parents' house for Christmas. My grandparents were down visiting. They live in Ontario, so they were down visiting. And I remember before this, I had been talking to my grandpa about what his favorite Christmas movie was. And my favorite Christmas movie is White Christmas. And he said that his favorite Christmas movie was A Christmas Carol, but like the original black and white Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I was actively looking for it or if I just happened upon it in Walmart, but I found the original black and white Christmas Carol. And I said, oh, okay, great. This will be awesome. I'll get this for my grandpa. This was when DVDs were a thing. And so I got it, I wrapped it, I had it under the tree. And so Christmas morning comes and I'm like, oh, this one's for Poppy. And I knew this one's for Grandpa. It was the wrapping paper I used. It was the shape of a DVD, pretty unmistakable shape. And so I handed it to him and he was sitting on the couch sort of across the living room from me. So he unwraps it and there's sort of this silence. And I was like, well, do you like it? And there's kind of like this, my mom's like, I don't think that one was for Grandpa. And I go, no, that's for him. Like, I know, like I wrapped it. And she goes, no, I don't think it is. And so it turns out, and I have it here, what I actually had given my grandpa, and I'm trying to figure out, was not the original black and white Christmas Carol, but the Barbie remake, the Barbie animated Christmas Carol video DVD that
Poor Grandpa.
my mom had gotten for me. And by some strange coincidence, she had wrapped it in the exact same paper that I had wrapped my grandpa's Christmas Carol DVD.
Oh, no.
So
oh, no.
I was like, okay. So it was a little bit anticlimactic for me because at that point it was already unwrapped. But then I realized that we obviously had just both grabbed the same wrapping paper by chance and wrapped it up. And so, found the right one.
What are the chances?
Very, very slim. So, that having someone, a designated present distributor, is necessary when you have low vision.
And new definition to DD. Yeah, designated gift, DGD.
Yeah.
Designated gift distributor. Yeah. We can't make it too official. They'll want some perks or something. We can't make it sound too official because then
it'll be like the opposite of the regular DD, like where you can't drink when you're the gift distributor, the designated distributor.
Yeah.
You can drink as much as you want.
DGD, let me pour you another mimosa, right?
Keep handing those presents.
Yeah.
They gotta pace themselves because if they get to the point where they can't read, then the whole thing is...
they need to be able to read. Okay.
Not too
yeah. Wait till the gifts are handed out and then go to town. This is a plan. I like this. This is good.
You're gonna
poor Grandpa.
Have a whole bunch of people offering to hand out gifts at your house this year.
Yeah, right, eh? So wait, how did Grandpa react?
He was just very quiet. I think he was
just quiet.
He obviously Barbie Christmas Carol was not on his wish list. But I think he didn't really want to hurt my feelings. Like I was obviously so proud. But we sorted it out. It was all good. I think that was the last year I was like, okay, I'm done handing out presents. So I'll do it now because I know we don't have a ton of presents under the tree. There's not as many people around. So it's a little bit easier. But yeah. And I don't live at home, so my mom's wrapping paper is different than my wrapping paper now.
Okay. So maybe you had dipped into like the same supplier wrapping paper. Okay. Yeah. It's coming together now.
I was living at home at the time. I was in university. Yeah. So I'd gone to the wrapping paper stock and pulled out the same paper.
Okay.
So.
Well, okay. So we're talking a little bit about, a lot about actually relying on people with working eyes to hand out our gifts, check the tree over. And my next low vision moment of Christmas, where are we at?
11.
10?
11.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad one of us is keeping track. I am not on the ball today. Okay. So we're at 11 already? Oh no, we're almost done. Okay. So okay. This certainly ties into relying on other people when you have low vision or are blind and relying on people who can see well. So on the 11th day of Christmas, my sister gave to me the wrong cooking temperature. Okay. You can probably guess where this is going. Last year, my sister and a couple of family members were over for the holidays. She and I were going to make the turkey. We were going to make the dinner together. And we had never done this together before. She had made turkeys before and she has working eyes. So I was relying on her a lot. Now, I could have very easily taken out my magnifier, use my phone, any number of tools to go and read the instructions on the turkey. What temperature do we cook this turkey at? I asked her. Instead of going and reading it myself, I trust her, right? So, Lisa, what temperature do we cook this turkey at? Okay, 160 degrees.
Oh,
really? Fahrenheit? And I swear to God, 10 times I asked her, are you sure you read that right? Only like 160 something degrees? Are you sure that's not Celsius? Because like that seems like a really low Fahrenheit. Like, really? That seems low Fahrenheit temperature, but we put it in. I trust her. She's my big sister. 160 something degrees. And I mean, it had been in, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or something. And I was just like, no, something's not right. I have to go and check. So like I snuck. So she didn't know. And I went and checked and I read it. And I was like, no way, man. No way. I took out my phone and I read this thing and I was just like beside myself laughing. And I called her in and I was like, Lisa, I don't know if I can trust you anymore. This was not supposed to be cooked at 160 something degrees Celsius. It's really like you have to cook a turkey. I mean, you'd have to cook it for days, like a day for it to cook. Like I want it to be juicy, but I'm not trying to slow cook my turkey in the oven here. Like that's a long cook time. It's supposed to be like 325 to 425 Fahrenheit or something like that, right? Like depending on how long you're going to cook it. So, I'm just glad that I went and snuck and read it later on. And we saved, we salvaged it. We had enough time that we were able to cook this turkey in time. So I'm just glad. A lot of these low vision moments have lessons, and it's, if you got the tools, maybe read the cooking directions yourself on the turkey if you can.
Would have been cooking that turkey for 12 days.
Oh my God. It's so lucky that I happened to go and just sneak and look because this doesn't feel right. Something's not right here.
Funny you say like you sneak because sometimes that happens. You're like, okay, well, I don't like. You don't trust you're like, well, who am I to like second guess? Like they can.
Yeah, she's got the eyes. She read it.
Makes sense, and so you're always like sort of sneaking and double checking, and then I find the hard part is like when you're like, oh yeah, they were wrong. How do you then like, oh, so.
Well, it's my sister, so I flat out just laughed my ass off at her and told her what was going on. And now it's one of those fun holiday memories that we're never going to forget. Do you cook a turkey? Do you do a ham? What do you do?
So we do a turkey and, so let's the last day.
Oh God.
I know. On the 12th day of Christmas, my husband gave to me an upside down turkey. So
I never even thought of what way it should go. Sorry, go ahead.
So we bought our first house over 10 years ago. And even though we had our own house and my parents came in to our place, my dad still did all the cooking for like Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. Cook the turkey, he'd do all the vegetables, and we were very, very spoiled. And so this was the first year that my dad was stepping back and we were actually going to cook the meal. And so our living room kind of goes along the front of our house, and then our kitchen and dining room is along the back, and they both have openings into the living room, and the living room or the dining room and the kitchen are pretty open. So there's a bit of a wall, but it's all kind of fairly open. You can sort of hear people in the kitchen. And so my dad was on the couch and I was in the living room with him, and Kyle called me into the kitchen. Kyle's my husband. And he goes, Tara, what? He goes, is the turkey upside down? And I looked at him and I go, how should I know? I can't see if the turkey's right. Like, I wouldn't know which way a turkey's supposed to go. And he goes, I think it's upside down. And of course, so then we're like trying to figure out, okay, do we have the turkey upside down? But we don't want my dad to hear, because we're like, if he finds out we can't cook this turkey, that's it. We've lost our Christmas holiday cooking privileges for the rest of our life. He's never going to trust us to do this again. And
you've got it under control.
I was like, I don't know. Like, Google it. Like, don't ask the blind person. They're not a reliable resource. So he Googled it. It was upside down. Of course,
How do you Google that?
I guess.
Which way does a turkey go in a pan?
Yeah, like how should a turkey?
How do you
He had
feel
to,
if a turkey's upside down?
And of course, it'd been in the oven for a while at this point. So he then had to flip the turkey, but it was hot and it was greasy. Thankfully, and this is probably the only saving grace, we have the silicone oven mitts.
Oh, yeah.
So he was able to flip it and then wash the oven mitts off. Now, apparently, in Googling, what way is a turkey supposed to be cooked, he came across this whole school or this like section or subgroup that actually holds that you should start cooking your turkey upside down for a certain amount of time and then flip it, and that in doing that, when it's upside down, all the greases run down into the rest of the turkey. And so that apparently it makes the turkey like juicier and better tasting, but you gotta have a strategy for flipping it if you're gonna start it upside down. So, but yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad you guys pulled it off. And I'm assuming nobody was the wiser. It was delicious.
Not until they watch this podcast. But that was several years ago now. We've got lots of turkeys under our belt. We've proved that we.
So do you still cook it upside down for a little bit and then turn it over?
I don't know. Kyle takes care of the turkey, so.
Oh, okay. But we'll have to ask him, because I'm curious if you picked up on this, if you actually went ahead with this tip.
I don't know. I mean, it's a hard thing to do to flip a turkey, like especially if you got one of those big birds. And it's not easy when it's been in there for a while. It's all greasy and slippery, and
it sounds dangerous. And you're trying to do it without anybody in the other room.
Trying to do it without anybody figuring it out. It was.
That's like Christmas movie material. I'm just gonna put that out there. That's great. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Tara. This is so much fun. I don't think I dropped any F-bombs this episode. So we're really keeping it festive and joyous. And I wonder, are you game to try and recap the full 12 low vision moments of Christmas before we go?
Let's try it.
Okay. All right. You have the honors of starting, and I'm going to try to keep up and not mess up.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my husband gave to me an upside-down turkey.
11 wrong cooking temperatures.
10 wrong DVDs for my grandpa.
Barbie Christmas Carol, in case you forgot. 9 pairs of tidy whities.
8 ornaments hidden in a Christmas tree.
7 unsuccessful gift deliveries.
6 awkward shopping checkouts. 5
burning houses.
4 missing cookie cutters.
3 origami gift sets.
2 Kelly Clarkson tickets.
And 1 giant deck of playing cards. I think we did that justice. I cannot thank you enough for being brave enough to go through those with me. Please, nobody judge our singing. Just be kind. It is the season to be nice, right?
We did not. We gave them fair warning. We did not profess to be professional or good singers.
That's right. That was the first episode. We had one on the first episode, but this one you got us, and we're fun, if I do say so myself. We might not be able to sing well, but we're a good time. And I've had such a good time, Tara. I can't thank you enough for coming on and wrapping this up in a nice little bow with me. Before we go, is there anything you want to shout out, anything you want to say?
Oh, just I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas or whatever they choose to celebrate, and that whatever low vision moments happen to come your way this holiday season, even if they don't seem like a gift now, in future years, hopefully you'll look back and there'll be sort of some precious memories that will make you chuckle and bring a smile to your face.
Unless they're tighty whities, you might suppress that one. That might be a little trauma.
You're smiling.
I know.
Smiling.
I smile at trauma. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Thank you so much. You have a happy holiday with your family, and we'll catch up in the new year. For real, we'll go for brunch.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for listening and watching these 2 very special Low Vision Moments episodes. The 12 Low Vision Moments of Christmas, I think, have been the holiday party we all deserve this time of year. And I could not have done it without my incredible guests, both Marlena and this time around Tara. You're both incredible people. Thank you for singing along. And I really hope that if you're watching or listening, that you are doing what makes you happy this time of year, whether you're celebrating something or not. If you have any feedback or suggestions for the podcast, I'd love to hear from you. You can send an email to podcasts@ami.ca, or you can leave a voicemail at 1-866-509-4545. To leave a voicemail, again, that number is 1-866-509-4545. Just make sure to mention Low Vision Moments in the message, please and thanks. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm there under uberblonde4. That's UBERBLONDE and the number 4. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. If that's where you're enjoying Low Vision Moments, please hit subscribe over there and leave a comment. I just love to hear from all of you. Our technical producer is Marco Flalo, and he is definitely still on my nice list this year. Thank you very much to manager at AMI Audio, Mr. Grinch. Andy Frank. And until next time, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.